member Telegram channel later on. So for those that who are joining me right now, okay, I think I got only 20 old people here. Anyone here is like new, just joined us recently, 1 or 2 weeks ago, especially for the Riot promo. Anyone here joining us recently? Okay, I think no. So because I would like to do a very quick one for daily screener, at least, you know, our new members know how to actually apply it correctly using the screeners. Then for some of members too, you can actually ask me also, okay, if you got some questions, okay, regarding the screener too. Okay, any other things that you want me to cover for today's sections other than screener? Okay, let me know too. Okay, if you want me to cover, you know, others than screener, I'll do so. Okay, in this a very quick 1 hour sections today. Okay, if not, I just purely focus on screener. Okay, then we see what's the things that, you know, we can do. Okay, from today market conditions. Okay, so now first of all, if let's say, okay, I go to this screener directly. Okay, I go through this screener directly. This is the screener. Okay, for new members, okay, you need to log in. Make sure this is under Pro Dashboard. If you realize that your okay, volume bar, sure, like. Okay, so if let's say you realize your dashboard is under free account, then you let me know. Okay, so I can upgrade back for you. Okay, so this is, you should get Pro Dashboard. Okay, once you in this Pro Dashboard, you can actually access to this full screeners over here. Okay, so first for new members, we encourage them to use the Pentagon screener, the no supply screener. Okay, so this is few of the screener that you can use to look for the trade ideas. Okay, so this is how the screener looks like against this week, or probably this few days. The market's a bit weak, so the selection is kind of limited. We've only got 3, excluding all the warrants. Okay, so here actually there's a few information that we want to get from the screener here. Okay, first of all, there's a very quick one. Okay, if you click on this date, okay, you actually can go back to past a few months ago. Okay, so for I think for certain screener can only up to 3 months. Okay, can up to 3 months, but for me it's quite sufficient because usually I just go back to 5 to 10 days to look for my stock ideas. Okay, so I think 3 months should be quite sufficient for you to look for the ideas. So if you realize also in this calendar, we do have 2 different kind of color coded. One is the blue, one is the orange. So what is means by this color coded is that if let's say you see the color coded, okay, is in red. Oops, I think someone opened audio. Okay, let me mute everyone's. Okay, mute already. Okay, so if the calendars, okay, come with orange on the day, okay, like for example, this is from 4th of May, okay, it starts to turn to orange until now, 21st, which means that this periods, you know, the KLCI has turned to red Pentagon. Okay, so the reason why we do so because in trading view, okay, just ensure everyone is here. In trading view, because the KLCI chart is without volume, okay, so that's why there's no red Pentagons over there. Okay, idea is that you can use FKLI, but for those that who want to check on KLCI, okay, you can use the calendar to check out from here. Okay, so this means that the overall KLCI is in red Pentagons. Okay, so let me write it down for you all. Okay, on the calendar. Okay, so if let's say orange means KLCI red Pentagons. Okay, if let's say blue, KLCI green Pentagon. Okay, so for those that who attended the masterclass, if you are following the Pentagon rules by Steve Olive and Martin, you know how you're going to apply this, right? So which means that we aim for more, okay, during the blue days, okay, which means the green Pentagon in KLCI, okay, or maybe we avoid the trades, okay, or maybe we reduce the target when it turns to red, okay, which means that, you know, the trend is always not so good, probably a bit bearish. Okay, so we want to, you know, look for white ball rather than gold ball. All right, so if you want to have more edge with you, you can wait for the green panel turn first in KLCI and then you look for the trades. Okay, so here's a quick one how to use the calendar and what it means by the color codes over there. Okay, hello Herman. Okay, so we got actually 4 exchanges also. Okay, in this screener. Okay, we got KLCI, XGX, Hong Kong, and US market. Okay, but for today, we purely focus in KLCI. Okay, now three of the very important, I can say, columns, okay, that to monitor in this screener is that we have the name, we have the ST and LT. Again, what it means is that the name, okay, the name got color coded also. Of course, here is all green. Okay, green, which means that the heat zone is in green color at the moment. Okay, so what it means by heat zone, okay, let's look into here. Let's go back to the chart. Okay, currently the chart that I'm using now is using the green Pentagon. Okay, so let's go to one stocks, probably like Inari. Okay, Inari now is red Pentagon. Okay, so if I turn off my Pentagon, okay, and I add heat zone. Okay, so under inbound on the script, scroll to the bottom, there's one indicator called heat zone. Okay, so heat zone is this is the indicators. Okay, so heat zone aim for more longer term. Okay, for those that who don't want to trade, you know, even with these small pullbacks or maybe a temporary retracement, you want to hold for slightly longer term. Okay, you can use heat zone with ATL stop loss. Okay, to help you out. Okay, so the screener here, the colors on this name here representing the heat zone. Okay, is this stocks currently at green heat zone or the red heat zone? Okay, so if example like what's the stocks? Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's look into Sedania. Okay, so we got here Sedania. Okay, I think Sedania is still pretty bullish. Okay, so yes, it's still under green heat zone. Okay, so technically the name here is green colors. Okay, because of the bullish in the background. So if you use Pentagon, mostly it's in red. Like for example, let's try Astion. Okay, so this is in red heat zone. Okay, so the background is weakening. Okay, it's a bit bearish at the moment. Okay, so the name here representing heat zone. Okay, red means bearish. Okay, and then green means bullish. Okay, so the other two column is ST and LT. Okay, so ST representing 50 MA and LT representing 200 MA. Okay, so the purpose we are using this is to want to measure the long-term trend. Okay, is the price currently trading at long-term support level or below support level? All right. So the percentage here means that, like for example, Sedania 185%. Okay, so which means that the price is trading above 185% away from 50 MA. Okay, 260, which means that the price is trading 260% away from 200 MA. Okay, so if you realize also, okay, let me go back to the Pentagon screener. Okay, we got a few colors over here. So red colors representing that this screener is below the 50 MA. Okay, so here red color, which means that is below 200 MA. Okay, below 63%. Okay, which means that this stocks is super bearish right now. Okay, because it's below 50 MA, it's below 200 MA. Okay, so let's try Coma. Okay, super downtrend. Okay, so if we saw some things like, okay, like for example, green colors, of course, Pertama I think is new IPO counters, so that's why they don't have any value for the 200 MA. Okay, so if you, let's say for example, SM cap, okay, so it's kind of close with 50 MA, also slightly below 200 MA. So usually this is the one that it kind of near with the support level. Okay, so usually if I look for screener, I like to look for green color first. Okay, then go for purple, because purple sometimes is a bit too far depending on the percentage. Like for example, Sedania sometimes is like too far from support level. So if let's say they do a pullback, sometimes they make a big distribution. Okay, so the risk is not so good. Okay, in terms of good risk to reward. So this Zima Capitals, okay, still under rate, building a support here, but it seems like it's not ready. So if can, most of the time I like to look for, oh, it's green. Okay, but let's say Pentagon is a new IPO, if I'm not mistaken. So let's try. Oh, sorry, it's not new IPO. Okay, my mistake. So they're actually trading pretty close with the 200 MA right now. Okay, so this is building a very nice support level. Okay, let me switch back to Pentagon because I like to use Pentagon for my short term. Okay, so this is the one, okay, that most of the time I look into, which is, if you look into this screener here, the name is green, okay, which means that they are above the support level, okay, above 50, above 200s, okay, which means that they are very, very close with long-term support level. So if you look into this chart here, also building a very nice accumulation. Okay, so the next question is that do you want to trade within accumulation? Low risk but a bit slow, or you want to trade in the markup. So if you want to trade in the markup, you can pop your alerts, or maybe you can wait for high volume line change. Okay, for those that who attended the masterclass, okay, if you remember, Sifufu said pullback start with line change. Okay, so you can wait for the first big LC first, then we aim for the pullback, since this one is building a very nice accumulation. So you can switch to weekly charts too to confirm this. Okay, NS, Green Pentagon, so it seems like the price is still holding on the 2040s area. Okay, so let me write down over here. ST is 50 MA, LT is 200 MA. Okay, so green close with MA. Red below MA, and purple far from MA. Okay, so which means, if let's say purple, which means they are trending in a very nice momentum. Okay, but again, be careful, because sometimes the pullback will happen at any time. Like for example, Sedania. Okay, example like Sedania. Okay, they are actually pretty far already from 50 and 200s. Okay, almost 200%. Okay, so here LT is 260%. So this one might, make a pullback anytime soon. Okay, so that's why most of the time I like to look for something green first. Okay, if let's say I want to look for purple, I think okay, but don't too far. Like for example, I think Milux, 36%, I think still fine. Okay, let's try Milux. Okay, today making a pullbacks already. Okay, so that's why kind of dangerous, especially it come with upshots over here. Okay, so over here we can aim for a nice pullback areas. Okay, we got NS over here. Okay, let's try whether they can test on. Okay, volume still low. Okay, so this is how I usually use the screener and aim for, which is the stocks that you want to look for pullback, or which the stocks you want to buy accumulation with green pentagons. Okay, any questions so far? Zach, the Heatzone indicator come with 50 and 200 MA. Yes, correct. Okay, so let me switch back to Pentagon. Sorry, let me switch back to Heatzone. Okay, so for members, remember, if you are using Pentagon, you need to switch off the Heatzone. Okay, if you're using Heatzone, you need to switch off the Pentagon. If not, the background will overlay. Yes, this is the 50 and 200s. Okay, for this gray and purple colors line. Okay, but again, this is for those who want to do slightly a bit long term. So that's why I like to use Pentagons most of the time. Okay, what is the holding period for ST and LT usually? Holding periods. So what do you mean, like? What time is US screener updated? Around 12 in the afternoon. 12 in the afternoon, we will update US screener.
You'll finish by 4 o'clock.
Oh, 4 o'clock. Okay, sorry. We will finish around like 4 p.m. for US screener. Okay, so Lao, what do you mean by what is the holding period for ST and LT? Okay. So any other questions? If not, probably going to continue from here. Okay, so this is a few things actually I look into. Okay, most of the time if I want to use my screen to look for my stock, of course you can use the industrial too. Okay, so go to this main dashboard. Okay, go to Bursa sector analysis. Okay, now this is the area that I look for the trending industry. Okay, so for example, sorry, sectors. Okay, so for example, plantation, finance. So probably let's say my screener got plantation or finance. Okay, I will more focus in these few counters there. Okay, so like for example today, I mean yesterday, okay, all is still in red. Okay, mostly the Heatzone is still in red. Probably I'll just gonna wait for the next opportunity. Okay, wait for more green color first in the screeners. Then I'll look for the entry. Okay, I think today lots of spring in the market. Okay, let's look for some counters today. Okay, B plan. Okay, so if let's say spring, tonight we go to spring screener. Okay, if the spring, the name, SDLT is still in green. Okay, now this is a few counters that I would like to monitor. Like for example, okay, this is from yesterday, of course, Chinbao. Okay, Chinbao, the name still in green, ST green and purple. Sorry, this LT still purple. Okay, but it's only 25%. So which is they are still pretty close with the 200 MA. It's not that breaking above and go into the markup stage really. So let's try Chinbao. Okay, Chinbao's SP, but failed, okay, today. So no trades. Okay, so this is how I use it, okay, for the spring signals or screen. Okay, so like I say today a lot of spring, okay, but we need confirmation first on the spring. Okay, we want to see the spring close above on the next few days to ensure that there is a confirmation of the pullback or reversal. Okay, so put your alert somewhere around here. Okay, so let's say price reverse, confirm the spring. Okay, we got green pentagons or high volume. Okay, now this is the area that we want to look for a potential entry with price above 2040s. Okay, short term for how many days? Oh, okay. So ST and LT for me is not for me to time, the period for me to hold or sell. Okay, but for me to look into the overall, is the stock is still in trend or not? Okay, hopefully I answer your questions correctly. Like for example, if I look into this Pentagon screener, right? This is for me to do stock selection easier. Okay, let me go back to past few months ago. Okay, maybe back to March. Okay, 8th of March maybe. Because sometimes during a days, right? If let's say market is bullish, we can get around like 60, 80 stocks, okay, for total of these 4 screeners here. Of course, we don't want to go through all of these stocks because it's kind of time consuming. So what I do is that I will try to narrow down my stock selection. Like for example, for those that in red, probably I'll work first. Okay, example, Al Sabi. This is back to 3rd of March. Okay, Al Sabi. 3rd of March. Okay, somewhere around here. Okay, so here, overall still a bit bearish at the time. Okay, still a bit downtrend here. So no much momentum. Okay, back to March there. Okay, so that's why I avoid. Okay, didn't look into it. So I'll go for something is more at least momentum or holding down. Okay, within the 2040s area. Okay, so this is for example, I think I saw B plan somewhere here. Yeah, B plan. Okay, green, ST and LT also in purple. Okay, so this is in green color. TDM also in green. Okay, for the name and LT. Okay, but outside it seems like everything is in red. So if let's say I'm interested in plantation, I'll focus more in B plan or maybe TDM. Okay, rather than outside it. Okay, so this is how actually I narrow down my stock selection. Okay, by using this screener from here. Okay, so LT and ST is not for me to look for how long should I hold, but it's to look for a good support area or stocks that I want to focus. Okay, if I want to look for some entry for the stocks. Okay, hopefully I answer your questions live. In the market is in downtrend right now, and if we want to enter, which screener we need to use to make a good trade? Okay, I'll use spring screener. Okay, I'll use spring screener. Okay, let me explain why I use spring. Okay, so anyone still remember what it means by spring? Okay, anyone still remember what it means by spring? Okay, I got roughly 50 old members here. Yeah, it's a sign of strength, but what type of sign of strength? Okay, I think Wins just answered me that yes, it's a wash, right? So it's a wash or it's a shakeout. Okay, so just want to do a very quick revision. Okay, so what it means by NS. Okay, anyone can help me out this? Okay, it's a no supply. Okay, equals to no sellers. Okay, so then actually this is called lack of sellers, right? No sellers. Okay, thank Rose. Okay, so, Yanji also get it correctly. Okay, now what it means by LC. Okay, low volume on spread bar. Okay, so NS actually is kind of similar with Tesla. Huh? Okay, yes, LC is line change. Okay, but what is line change? Okay, when we see line change, what is the things that we should expect? Yes, change of trend. Okay, change of trend. Okay, or if let's say during accumulation, it's an effort bar. Okay, depending on the volume and the spread. So if let's say we see sell bar, what it means by sell bar? Okay, sell bar also change of trend. Okay, but it's different with LC because LC is from accumulations to markup. Okay, so but sell off is from distributions to markdown. Okay, if you want an example, I think is Gtronic, okay, or maybe like Penta, I think also doing the same things. No demand, okay, is lack of buyer. Okay, so lack of buyer. So spring is a shakeout or wash, and this is frequently happen when the market is weak. Okay, so this is a time that most of the time spot money use this opportunity to remove weekend holder from a market. Okay, so most of the time this will happen. Okay, market goes up, pull back, and then form a spring at the bottom. Okay, and then it goes up again. So this is an area that they want to remove weekend holders. Okay, so that's why they form a spring somewhere around here. Okay, to accumulate slower and then continuation on the trend. Okay, most of the time it will happen within the 2040s area. So that's why we use 2040s MA to help us to look for the areas, okay, to look for the entry. Okay, so most of the time, let's say when the market is weak, I like to use spring screener to help me out to check for stocks that got the opportunity, okay, to do a pullback or wash, okay, in this area here. Okay, so any stocks that your spot got a nice spring, I think just now Sifufu share P metal. Okay, still is a spring there. Okay, let's look into weekly chart because this is a long-term uptrend. Okay, we got weekly chart, green pentagons here. Uptrend, okay, NS. So this is the area that they will do a shakeup. Okay, so let's check on the daily chart. We got a very nice spring. And of course, we prefer to wait for the green pentagon to confirm the spring. Okay, to ensure this is a successful shakeout or wash, okay, by smart money to remove the weekend holders out from the market. So I think some of the steel also, the other steel also doing the same things too. Let's try lion. Okay, spring, but it's slightly a bit big because it's already below 2040s. Okay, remember confirmation is very important in this case. Okay, so any other good spring that you spot? Aeon Credit. Okay, this is from Laihe. Oh yeah, it's a nice spring. So okay, let's look into the weekly. Okay, weekly charts hit 2040s. Okay, weekly chart hit 2040s. Now this is the springs that we want to look for, okay, in the weekly charts here. So green pentagons, okay, downtrend, sell off, high volumes. Okay, we got a high volume at bottoms, accumulation, goes up, first spring. Okay, confirmation after 1 month. Okay, sometimes they don't do confirmation immediately. So that's why I like to park my alerts at the top of the spring bar. So here's another spring, probably you sideways, green parents back again, then they retest higher. Okay, let's switch back to daily. Daily, we got one resistance with uptrust. Okay, forming spring right now. Park my orders here. I mean, if let's say you're interested, park your orders here. So similar like here too, below 2040s, prefer green pentagons, cross back 2040s. Okay, here probably a sideways, cross back 2040s with green pentagons so that they got chance to retest higher to the resistance. Okay, so next one are Lihi. Any others? Spot, SP, okay, ATMS. Okay, high volume spring also, but yesterday is a high volume down bar. Okay, a bit risky because the weakness bar is too close already in this case. Okay, so nice uptrend, pullbacks, uptrust. Okay, so weekly chart should not drop below 2040s. Okay, so weekly chart is support, but like I said, this sell off bar is too close already. Again, let's see how it's the closing later on, and we want to see a confirmation of spring next week. Okay, let's look into the hourly charts. Okay, we wait for the green pentagons here. Okay, I prefer sign of strength that the background doesn't have much of the weakness. Okay, which means that they are not very close with the weakness over here. Okay, because if let's say they are too close with weakness, most likely they will fail again. Okay, let's try these counters. Okay, here doesn't have any sign of strength. Example here, sell bar high volume. Okay, even here sometimes got sign of strength, it will fail again. Okay, because the weakness just started. Okay, any other stocks that are having a nice spring? Okay, Sim Life. Sim Life recently got a springs too, if not mistaken, on the weekly charts. Okay, yes, this is a high volume spring. Okay, let's look into weekly charts. Okay, green pentagons goes up, high volumes down bar. So high volumes down bar, we prefer to look for a period of accumulation from here. Okay, example here, goes up. Okay, a periods of low volumes to do reaccumulation. Okay, so it seems that there are still support in 2040s. Okay, based on the weekly charts. Okay, let's go to daily charts. Daily charts got spring, which is nice, high volume, turning to green pentagons. Okay, the next thing is that you want to ensure they are crossing on the 2040s. Okay, example here, lots of spring, cross 2040s. Okay, if not, probably they'll retest lower again. Besides, market sentiment is pretty weak. Okay, so better wait for a confirmation. I think the other one is CIMB, but CIMB doesn't have any spring. Oh yeah, got a spring over here too. Okay, spring. Almost crossed the other day, but again, today and yesterday is not a very good day. Okay, so probably they will retest back on spring. Okay, but if let's say they are doing a successful test, I think you still can monitor, okay, for CIMB group. Lion Industry. Okay, I think just now we just checked Lion, right? Okay, let's try Lion. Oh, okay. So it's showing spring again, huh? Okay, let's see whether we got any green pentagons or not. Okay, in the hourly chart here. Okay, let's focus a little bit on glove. Let's go to top glove. Because yesterday seems like they are doing low volume, but doesn't have any follow through. Okay, low volume here, cross below. Okay, seems like it's weakening a bit. Okay, now this is a nice area. Okay, but this morning dropped with red pentagons again, so need to wait. LKL yesterday didn't close strong also. Okay, but overall still above 2040s. Okay, currently I think best is to, if let's say you really want to enter some stocks, best is to look for some stock with COC. Okay, let's try HLT. Okay, potential COC. Okay, let's look into hourly chart. Okay, we got spring here. Okay, look for COC. How about our Renta? Okay. Upcharge high volume. Too close already. Prolexis. Also showing weakness. Close below 2040s. Okay, so not a nice setups. Okay, so seems like most of the stocks are not having a nice setup right now. Okay, let's try PA. Again, today focus on spring screener. Okay, we focus on spring screener today. We want to look for stocks that is still above 2040s. Okay, if let's say below, okay, I think no need to rush to enter. We wait for the green Pentagons. Okay, to confirm the spring. Okay, to confirm the spring. If not, probably over first because KLCI is still in red color zone. I believe that's okay. Still in red color zone. So you can wait for it to turn green. Okay, if you want to have a better confirmation. Okay, PA is a nice spring. Also pretty close with support. Okay, almost formed a VCP2 the other day. Okay, but overall the sector is weak. So they test lower again with a spring near to the NS area. Okay, so we want to see is this spring can build enough support or not from here. Okay, HSSEB, I think didn't make a follow through also. Okay, again, a nice VCP, okay, but drop lower. Okay, again, for those members who attended the Wednesday sections, okay, like I said, once the price break below 2040s, it's going to test lower because it means that this VCP is weakening. Okay, this VCP is weakening. Okay, but for my spring today, what I do is I'm going to park my others back to here. 620 areas. Okay, so once they go back to these areas, we got volumes, okay, which means they are ready to retest again the resistance. Okay, any other stocks that are having a very nice spring? Okay, if not, I just go through some of the high volume stock for today, then we'll close for today's section, okay? So any other questions regarding the screener? Okay, let's see what stock got high volume. Now this stocks, it seems like building accumulations, but not ready yet. Okay, not ready yet. So wait for them to retest like 2 times. Okay, double bottom. Okay, then I think it's gonna take months because make a big downtrend here. Okay, so for those that who are interested, okay, S51 is very similar. Okay, very similar. So recently also pulled back a little bit already. Okay, so here we got downtrend, high volumes, high volume. Okay, so you can look for like this kind of similar patterns. Okay, for focus. Okay, fintech no trend, just high volume. Okay, Tenko start to drop with Pentagon today. Armada building a springs too. Okay, close with support and we got a spring. Against confirmation is very important. Just pop my alerts at 42 cents. KNM, okay, below 2040s, not that keen. Okay, Armada above 2040. That's why I want to pop my alerts somewhere around there. Okay, this is BJ Crook also. Drop below 2040s, Matang. Okay, still support very well. MBSB below 2040s. Mui. Maybach. Okay, HP Global. From the spring as well. Okay, this is way too far 2040s. Okay, so not that interested. Talvin, RGB, Evin also drop a lot. Okay, park it back here. So this is how usually I want to spot any shakeout. Yeah, for tomorrow member training, money training, I will also share about shakeout. Okay, so I think potentially 1 or 2 weeks from now, we will see a lot of this kind of pattern because of the weak market currently that we have. Okay, so I don't think there's any others. Okay, anyway, let's wait for the screener tonight. Okay, so because tonight also, tomorrow also during member training, I'll go through if I got time, I go through the spring screen as well. Okay, so let's look into two more stocks. Okay, AYS and Tiguan. Yeah, AYS also very nice. Okay, almost from a weak CP2, but again fails. The still over is not that good if I'm not mistaken. If not mistaken, this is still counters. Okay, so from a spring as supports. Okay, again we wait for confirmation again. Okay, let's go for Tiguan, last one before we close. Oh yeah, this is a nice spring. Okay, I didn't realize today Tiguan also formed a spring. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 spring. Okay, for those that who missed earlier on for Tiguan, okay, you can park your alerts here. Okay, wait for next few days. Okay, is there any good confirmation or not? Okay, for this 3 spring. I think Kawan building a spring too, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try Kawan. Okay, Kawan dropped already. Okay, building spring now for Kawan. The other one that I'm monitoring is CAB. Yes, CAB also building spring. Okay, so lots of spring, but most important, the background must be good. Okay, best is that you choose something above 2040s with accumulation in the background. Okay, let's try CCK. I think CCK is a little bit weak compared to CAB. Okay, because of 1, 2 upthrust. Okay, so I prefer CAB in this case. Okay, let's try FGB. Just some of the very quick stocks, some of the few stocks that I'm still monitoring. Okay, so support, 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 spring. Okay, we want to look for confirmation in this case. Okay, so any other questions before we close for today's sections? Okay, so remember this is the few things that we look into using our screener. Okay, so most important is that you look into the name, make sure it is bullish. Okay, the next thing I look into is the SNLT. So usually I don't choose anything that in red, especially those that already negative more than 10%. So those is like the trend is a bit weak and downtrend encounters. I like to choose for green, which they are building a really nice accumulation, or maybe purple, but not too far. 50%, below 50%, I think still okay. But let's say above 50%, sometimes it's like very far already. So afraid of the immediate pullbacks. Okay, so this is a sound of strength. Okay, so tomorrow section, I will go through a bit of support and resistance using SOS and SOW. Okay, and I will go through NS signals, trade setups, and shakeout patterns. Okay, so with this, thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you again tomorrow.